you guys seen God working? How have you guys seen working through this pandemic?
On our part here, we are here still stuck in the US, and it's been amazing to see how that has provided us an opportunity of getting involved out there, uh, in South Africa with the ministry there while we are out here. Something that we couldn't have been doing if this had not happened. So being able to connect with folks there, the ministries that we're involved, like young adults, we're still meeting with them on Saturdays. We're still getting involved with Bible studies, and it's been encouraging to see how people are participating in that. And so I think it's showing that people still have desire, whatever way they can be able to get connected to the body of believers. And you see that there's that hunger, there's that zeal, passion of that fellowship that they can grasp wherever they can. So it's been amazing to see that the dedication, the commitment that the church people have for the word and for the fellowship. And so but in one way, it's created us that opportunity, get involved, of course, with teaching, with our ministry. I think we are involved at a deeper level than we couldn't have if this had not happened. So we're seeing God using that and showing his work in people's lives in an amazing way.
Yeah, I'm seeing two things. One out of the seminary. It certainly is different teaching on a Zoom class, but we learn how to use the whiteboard and things like that. We're still going to have to get a little better at it, but we know how to get information. But one advantage that we have that we did not have before is we can record every class, and students go back and review the classes. Why that's important is understand that for most men, English is their second or third language. And like for me, when I teach, I don't speak English, I speak American, which is a bit different. And so it's helpful for them to go back and review again and hear exactly what's going on, because in a moment of time in class, that moment passes and you try to remember what the guy said. It's difficult. So I found that with some students, they record because for very, very cheap, you can download a class after midnight. And so they save their money that way. And they have now that class to look at for a few days. We never had that before. Now we do. So there's some takeaways here. On the church side, while we lose in fellowship, we gain in focus because the people aren't allowed to go anywhere. They have to be there on Sundays. And while it's not great to get people used to being on a couch in their pajamas on Sunday morning, that's not what we want them to get thinking about. But they're there and they're focused as a family, and it involves family worship. I'm not saying everybody has their coffee and tea and all that they go around, but there's family worship that takes place, which means there's a lot of dialogue that takes place around that. And as Quadra said, we hear it in the Bible studies. So there's less distraction. I know it's hard for people to think of this as a blessing, but there's no professional sports, there's no professional music, movie theaters aren't open, and there's no big political elections going on. So the only thing to talk about is what are we learning in the scriptures, which is actually a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to add one area as well, which is really a blessing. And I think in both sides a blessing, but during the COVID crisis, it's more of an appreciated kind of a blessing. We find ourselves, because at the moment we've got 3 kids, they are all in public school. And basically the time that we have with them while they're in classes is so limited. because they leave, some of them leave here 6 o'clock and they'll come back 4 o'clock. And the only time that you've got with them maybe is an hour before, because they want to go to bed, maybe around 8. And now the Lord has just opened plenty of time for discipleship, which I do appreciate that, because you can have them here for the whole day and you can influence them as much as you could with scripture, with your own life, and they can watch you while you're busy working and while you're busy playing with them. And with that, I think there's a great impact that is going on in the lives of the members of the family, especially the kids here. That's a very wonderful blessing that the Lord has provided for the families and for myself especially.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, that's richly encouraging, and you know, the Lord has continued to work through pandemics and pestilences and plagues in the past, and I'm sure He will continue to do so in the future. We know that's the case, and we look forward to that day when we can kind of be face to face, as I'm sure you guys do too. And just so grateful for the opportunity that we as a church have to partner with you guys for the sake of the ministry in South Africa and really beyond, and just that far reach of the seminary. We'll continue to pray for you guys as the seminary and the church continue to try and figure out ministry and what it looks like to get everybody the books for their semester and internet capabilities and all of this. And so we're looking forward to hearing how God will use this next semester, as odd as it will be.